Hello there, today what I want to show you is models of yesteryear, the early versions. Right, these models of yesteryear mainly date from the 60s. I have put in a later 70s one to show you the scale difference. The early models of yesteryear by Matchbox were a lot smaller in scale. They were a lot sorry. They were a lot better made also. They have metal cast wheels such as metal axles, very sturdy, no plastic windows. No, so they've really stood the test of time, these early versions have. From my understanding, I don't know why they changed the format of the models. For the later ones, the seats fell out, the grills fell out, the tyres fell off them, you know. It's like these ones, you know, I buy a lot of models and go to a lot of auction houses. The amount of times you find, you know, boxes full of these which are missing the hoods, missing the wheels. So in my opinion, the early versions are so much nicer. You know, this for example, the horse-drawn cart, the Lipton's T1, the horses are actually cast metal like an old Britain's figure. Metal wheels, sorry, it went out of focus. All metal. You know, there's no plastic in there whatsoever. Again, whoops, sorry. You know, all metal, cast wheels, brilliant. You know, this one I think was introduced slightly later. That one, you know, was in the transition when it was going from that version into the later version, so it's a transitional period, but I think they should have kept the metal wheels. You know, but we know why they didn't, because metal costs a lot more than plastic does. You know, the Santa Fe train, it's really, really nice. You know, this dates from the 50s, 60s, that type of period. And it's better made than today's models, which is pretty embarrassing. You know, that all that is metal. You know, it's a heavy item for a model. You know, really, really well made. So this is my little video on models of yesteryear. So if you are to collect models of yesteryear, you know, the old ones are the better ones. You know, the 70s ones, they just seem to churn them out, you know. Cheap, cheerful, you know, fob off the public, you know, a little bit like what Corgi did in the 70s and 80s. They were really good at making models in the 60s. Save money, you know, retooled everything. Cheap, rubbish. So if you want good quality Matchbox, you know, the 50s, 60s stuff, invest in that. Unless you can afford the new stuff, which is called Matchbox collectibles, you know, which I really like, but why the £25, £30 a model, you know, some of them 40, 50 just for a standard model which has had a little bit of a repaint is just crazy. Matchbox basically ripping off collectors. One advice I would give to people, right, is if you do collect Matchbox, you collect Hot Wheels, you collect any type of this, don't go to model shops, you know. Look at antique, you know, websites, you know, my website for example, lokicollectibles.com. Look at auction houses, you know. These models, you know, don't cost the world if you look in the right places. You know, how these model shops get away with charging these prices, I don't know. So these are Matchbox models of yesterday. Thanks for looking, bye bye.